welcome to Sporty Stuff TV's coverage of the online darts live league. And it is going to be Group B action tonight that sees 3 people through to the finals tomorrow night, which will be at the very same time as we are on the air right now. But we have had a great week of action so far, and before we get into the action for tonight, let's have a little glance at what has happened on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. You can see from this Group A overall table that Chris Gilliland of Northern Ireland played 15 games and amassed the most points of anybody in the group, and that has given him an invitation to the finals on Saturday night. Jared Cole and Connor Scutt, by finishing in 2nd and 3rd position, have come into Group B, which we had our first night of last night. But Richie Burnett, Scott Marsh and Colin Osborne went into Group C, which was played over the course of yesterday and earlier today. They didn't make it through because, as you can see, it was only the 1 win for Burnett. Kurt Parry, on his debut, got himself 4 wins from 10 performances, but Scott Marsh and Colin Osborne were edged out in the end by Scott Walters and debutant, the former World Master Adam Smith-Neale, who did a fabulous job of winning 8 games from 10 performances. A really dominant display from him, which saw him win the group by 4 points. As far as Group C is concerned, that's done. We've got 3 of our finalists. And Group B, as you can see here, we've got an even spread of points. 8, 6, 4, 2, 0. And we will have 3 players progressing from this group over the course of the next 10 matches. We will start with Connor Scutt tonight. He will start as favourite after winning 4 games from 4 yesterday. He'll be up against Martin Thomas, as you can see in the first game. Then we will go to Chaz Barstow and Ryan Furness in the second game. And then we will be joined by Jared Cole in match number 3, as Martin Thomas will be the first person to complete his quota of 8 matches in this group when we get to around about the 5 past 10 past midnight mark. It was a very competitive night last night. I think tonight we're going to see a bit of jostling at the start, but it's really important for the people towards the bottom of the table to get a really good start. And I am somewhat pointing my finger towards Martin Thomas. If he does not get a good start tonight and remains without a win in his first couple of games, he will be seeing the exit door pretty soon, I'm afraid. So we're going to have a little look at who we're going to get in the first game. Let's have a little preview of that, and then we will get cracking with Connor Scutt against Martin Thomas. Welcome back. A little break just like that to see who we got coming up. It is the short-statured Martin Thomas up against Connor Scutt, who has been full of beans this week. He will be somewhat excited about the prospect of getting through to Saturday finals once again. It's going to take some effort to stop him, in my opinion, because he's been reaching new levels this week, getting personal best averages, breaking records for daily averages, and getting more 180s on a day in his group than anybody before. He is trending in only one direction. But as far as Martin Thomas is concerned, he may need a perfect night tonight to stand any chance. With Connor Scutt already on 8 points, Martin Thomas can only get to that point. Chaz Barstow currently is in 3rd position with 4 points.
It's Connor to throw first. Game on.
Our referee for the evening is Andy Walsh. Welcome to Andy. Our 3rd referee of the week. We had one day with Owen Binks.
140.
We've had Charlie Corstefine with us the rest of the week, but Andy is on shift tonight, and welcome to him.
96.
But here's the problem for Martin Thomas. After that day yesterday, where in 2 games he missed match darts against Ryan Furness and Jared Cole.
57.
Lost both of those matches by 4 legs to 3. He is now faced with a very close to impossible task.
45.
He needs Barstow and Cole to have a bad night, and he needs to have a good night.
100.
Martin Thomas is not going to win this group. But if you offered third place to him right now, his eyes would widen and he'd say, yes, please.
180.
We don't have to wait long for the first maximum. Can't say I'm surprised. We had 23 of them last night from this group.
97.
We almost averaged 3 maximums per match, which is a very good ratio. Good level of performance as well over the course of the night. 91.13 for the night.
Connor, you require 107.
Double top.
87.
Connor misses out on a 15 darter for leg 1.
140.
So he will be back for double 10 to get the first leg of this
78.
best of 7 contest.
Connor, you require 20.
Double 5.
Game shot in the first leg.
Fine start
Connor
from a
Scutt.
very sharp player, playing his 5th consecutive day of the week. And if he has rested well in between his daily exploits, there is no
Second leg,
reason
it's
why
Martin
Connor
to throw
Scutt
first.
can't
Game on.
have another perfect evening. One of the most
100.
quizzical things that happened at the start of yesterday's play was the fact that the first 3 games were all 4-0. And then we finished with a 4-0,
46.
which was this fixture. 107.36 was the average for Connor in beating Martin Thomas by 4 legs to 0 in match number 10.
60.
And in seeing Connor about 20 minutes ago, he just wanted to straighten something up for me because he was racing around the room when he was 3-0 up.
55.
You automatically think that maybe he was in need of a call of nature. But he told me
60.
he was trying to break his own record for the quickest game of the year. He was trying to beat Martin Thomas
100.
in less than 6.5 minutes. So he was running around the room, which is just a sign of how incredibly aware Connor is about everything that's going on. All of his statistics from last
60.
night need to be mentioned, and I
Marking
will
you
talk
require
about them in the
156.
next leg, when it will be possibly 1 leg all.
100.
More likely now, with Martin Thomas on a finish after 15.
95. Martin, you require 56.
It will be 16 in tops. He is very much a tops man as opposed to 16s or 18s.
Game
And
shot
tops
in the second
works.
leg. Martin
1 leg all in
Thomas.
this one, so he does get his first leg against Connor Scutt this week. Just needs to find another 3.
Third leg is
So
Connor.
yes,
to
let's
throw
address
first.
the stats of Scutt from yesterday. His best average in an individual game was against Martin Thomas, that 107.36.
60.
In his previous game, he won 4-1 with 103.31.
95.
The one game that was really close was against Jared Cole, averaging 83. He managed to squeak through that one.
131.
But after that, nobody got close to him, because for the night, he averaged 95.52.
140.
He got 5 180s, 3 ton plus checkouts, the same as Jared Cole. But get a load of this. This is the statistic that really
140.
does pique my interest. For the night, not just for one game, for the evening, his checkout percentage was 59.26%.
134. Connor, you require
That is
170.
beyond world class. He's already had a 170 this week, and he's had more attempts at a 170 than
58.
anybody else.
Martin, you require 132.
57 needed. How does he hit this? Can he see the ball? Oh,
Game
boy,
shot,
what a
third leg.
shot
Martin
from
Thomas.
Martin Thomas. I don't even think he knows how he hit this bullseye.
Fourth leg.
I am
Martin to
rendered
throw first.
speechless. I think our referee, Andy Walsh, is speechless
Game
too.
on.
At no point did I think he was going to hit that bullseye with that dart in the way. That had to be micron perfect. Never mind millimeter perfect.
140.
We've seen some great finishing this week. We've seen some great finishes this week individually. But I have to say, that's probably the best of the lot.
57.
You might think I'm just saying that because that's the newest one. But earlier on today, we saw Scott Walters hit 3 ton-plus checkouts in the same
80.
game. A rather ridiculous performance, which I'm sure he will be talking about for many a year, where he chipped 129,
83.
154 to win the match, and a 170. That doesn't happen very often.
55.
And Connor Scutt losing doesn't happen very often this week. He did have an opportunity of getting through Group A, but he seemed to stumble at the last
91.
hurdle. So far he's owned Group B. And the last thing he needs is an
65.
early defeat here, just to plant the tiniest seed of doubt, with Furness and Barstow in pursuit, not that far behind.
140. Martin require 160.
Scott's going to get a look at the 130 now to break straight
45.
back.
Connor, you require 130.
This one's called the Little Fish.
85.
Does get a fair chunk of
Martin,
it.
require 115.
Thomas looks at the 19s. He needs a double.
Game
And
shot
he's
at the
found a
fourth
second
leg.
ton plus
Martin
checkout
Thomas.
in succession. And now the man from South Wales is starting to find what he couldn't find last night.
Fifth leg. It's Connor to throw first. Game on.
What he did find yesterday was a good level of play, funnily enough. 90.83 was his average on Thursday evening. 7 180s,
134.
which was more than anybody else, and he found himself at the bottom of the table with no points. But it doesn't take a genius to figure out why. As good as the checkout
58.
percentage was for Scutt, it was equally as poor for Martin Thomas, because his was only 14.63%. That's never going to work.
140.
Now, before I get
121.
any emails or texts or tweets about me saying Aberystwyth's in South Wales, I have just done a bit of checking. As soon as I said South Wales, I knew I was wrong.
140.
It's in West Wales. I've never been to Aberystwyth. Just looking at its locality
55.
next to the Cardigan Bay, it looks
Connor, you
glorious.
require 87.
Double 18.
51.
He will return for double 18 because of the power of his scoring in this leg. Word to the wise.
140.
Get rid of this now. You do
requires
not want to give
36.
Martin another shot.
Game shot in the fifth.
I would have been flabbergasted if Connor Scutt had not hit that double 18 because those guides were so perfect. That's why he didn't have to move. He had a firm backboard to bounce it in.
Game on.
And he gets within one. 2 more to go if he wants to keep that unbeaten run going of 4 matches.
55.
As well as 4 4-0 victories yesterday in our Thursday night action. We had 5 games that went all the way.
58.
That means that only 1 game for the entire night wasn't 4-0 or 4-3. A very peculiar evening, but very entertaining.
57.
That game was a Connor Scutt win against Ryan Furness. We will see him for the first time up against Chaz Barstow in match 2.
99.
Perfect first start. Should be a 180.
180.
I'm starting to educate myself about the Connor Scutt game as to the strengths and weaknesses. And when he gets that first start right, you've got to watch out.
140. 92.
That is a much needed last start treble. It could be the difference between surviving in this match and losing
60. It. Connie require 114.
Let's find out as he goes south on the 114. Could be 45 bull.
84.
Misses out.
He went
87. For the extra cover on the right hand side and missed. For the match, double 5.
77.
Casts a shadow over it. And Scutt has now survived a match dart from Martin Thomas. It's not going to happen again to Martin Thomas, is it? He's going to the last leg of the contest. So he's missed 1 match dart, and every time Martin Thomas misses a match dart, he loses.
7th and final leg. It will be Connor to throw first. Game on.
He was given 4 attempts against Ryan Furness yesterday in match 5. He was given 1 against Jared Cole.
100.
He's had 1 here. And if he doesn't win this leg, the best
100.
points tally he can amass after this is 6 points. And I'm not sure that's going to be enough to get in the top 3. I think
93.
we will see people on 8 and more. And considering the strong year that he has
120.
had, if he walks away from this group with no final spot for Saturday night, that will be a bit of an upset.
132.
Superb stuff. 102 lead. And Thomas is in trouble.
36.
Big trouble.
100.
Fabulous last start. And he will come back for 76 to get a 5th straight win to get to 10 points. And very close
85.
to being safe for Saturday night.
Connor, you require 76.
He will want nothing more than just getting through
36.
to Saturday night.
Martin, you require
Probably won't care whether he comes first, second or third. But Thomas has now got no chance of winning at this visit. And he will feel
99.
that it is game over.
Connor, you require 40.
Double top.
Game,
Connor Scutt gets a 5th consecutive win. He looks like he had to work hard for that one with a puff of the cheeks. It is Martin Thomas who really is looking towards the exit door now. Has to win 3 straight to stand any chance of getting through this group, and he's going to need other players, like the players that we will see in match 2, to fail. But as you can see, the averages were pretty similar between the two players there, but the checkered percentage is misleading. He just didn't get enough chances towards the end. So, Martin Thomas will return in match 3, but as far as match 2 is concerned, we're going to get 2 people from Hampshire. It's Chaz Barstow and Ryan Furness when we come back. Very warm welcome back to the Online Darts Live League for Friday night. I hope you're having a very successful and comfortable Friday evening. So let's go into game 2. Two guys who are very local to each other. The 42-year-old Chaz Barstow, highly fancied this evening, up against Salisbury's very own Ryan Furness. I said he was from Hampshire. It's very close to Hampshire, is Salisbury. It's actually Wiltshire. But it's going to be an interesting evening for these two. They've already seen Connor Scutt widen his lead at the top to 4 points.
First leg, it will be Chaz to throw first. Game on.
It's up to these guys to try and stick with him and to maintain their positions in the top 3.
60.
If Chaz does win this match, it will still be a 4-point gap at the top of the table, because it would get Chaz from 4 points
97.
to 6, which is where Ryan currently resides. On the flip side, if Ryan Furness does win against Chaz again, because he beat him yesterday by 4 legs to 3, and he will find himself on 8 points with 3 matches to go.
41.
Not a bad position to be in when you've got Jared Cole and Martin Thomas on 2 and 0 points
76.
when they play each other in the next match.
$85.
As far as that game is concerned from yesterday, it was a steady affair.
100.
88 average for Chaz, but he did miss a few doubles. Only 18% in the end. And Ryan took advantage of that
121.
with a very similar average, just under 88. And his own percentage was down at 25.
97. Ryan, you require 157.
First chance here for Ryan Furness. Would have been his biggest finish of the year so far.
97.
Has to rely on a miss from Chaz, though.
Chaz, you require 92.
Went for 2 double 18s, and he's missed them both.
Ryan, you require 60.
Somewhat careless there from Barstow. Can Ryan hit tops?
40.
This is where missing the ball twice really costs Barstow. If he'd have left a double, he could have had 3 darts at it. This way, he's only got 1.
32.
And it is costly.
Ryan, you require 20.
Double 10 for an opening break.
Game shot in the first.
And that's what he finds
Ryan
with that
Furness.
very neat and tidy double 10 to start this match off. So this one is following a very similar pattern to what we saw yesterday.
Second leg, it's Ryan to throw first.
Looking at their overall performances from yesterday, quite typical of what we've seen from them before. Running average
100.
for the night yesterday for Barstow, 90.06. 3 maximums and a checkered percentage of just under 30%. That's where he faltered. Couple of ton plus outs as well for Chaz, who's had a very good 2021 when he's played here. This is his 107th match. He's got a win percentage of just over 61%.
57.
And he's got the personal best average in a game of 111.33. Ooh, the samurai dart.
156.
And it was touching the treble 12 as well. What a bonus. It's not often you score 156.
76.
And you're not going for a finish. That was a bit peculiar, to say the least. But those extra 36 points
140.
have given him an even bigger cushion than he had.
$83. Ryan, you require 45.
For 2-0. It's double top again.
Game
This
shot
time
the
he
second
finds
leg.
it.
Ryan Furness.
And that 36 that he inadvertently hit with the treble 12 in the middle of that leg gave him a bit of extra comfort. And he played after that as if he didn't even need it.
Chaz throwing first.
Chaz has become a bit of a
60.
specialist on Fridays and Saturday nights this year. He has, of course, won phase 4.
$140.
We saw Ryan Furness in the phase 5 Champions League finals. It didn't work out for him,
180.
but he's here having another crack.
55.
This is a really quick game as well. As far as Furness is concerned, before play began tonight,
43.
he came in with the best win percentage of anybody in this group. And considering the calibre of the players, that's saying something. Just under 65%
100.
for the 28-year-old from Salisbury. Running average as well for the year of just under 91.
94.
So yesterday, averaging 86 and still getting 6 points was maybe a B game standard for him yesterday.
140.
That tells me something about
Charges
him.
require 124.
This might have to go. If Ryan Furness hits
56.
this,
Ryan, you require
Barstow might be dragged into a battle for third spot for the rest of the night. 21 left. Goes back to double 10.
56.
Could
Charges
be a costly
require
miss.
68.
Double 4.
64.
You can see the disappointment.
Ryan, you
From
require
Chaz right
10.
there. Ryan averaging in the mid-90s.
Game
And has
shot in the
got a
third
3-0
leg.
lead as
Ryan
well.
Furness.
His average is a good 22 points better than his opponent. So I have to say at this point, 3-0 is pretty fair.
Fourth leg, it's Ryan to throw first.
Chaz knows all about pressure after coming through the last cluster of Players' Championships within the PDC.
100.
And he has got himself a spot in the World Championship.
57.
That is something to look forward to next month. But he doesn't want to walk away from this group tonight. He does want to play tomorrow.
60.
He wants to try and get into Champions Week in early December, which would be great preparation for that Ali Pali debut.
93.
Just imagine a little bit of extra cash as well if he was able to win tomorrow night to get the £2,000 bonus. And then, of course, the big prize on December the 11th of £6,000. And he could be the only person to have won 2 phases this year.
137.
Nobody has doubled down yet.
$60.
Only gets 60. He really craved a bit more than that.
134.
Still a match
Ryan,
point.
you require 141.
Got to be 3 perfect darts. So Chaz, who messed up leg 3,
95.
can't afford to mess
Chaz,
up
you
here.
require 80.
Safe single. Tops left.
60.
And Ryan is staring 4-0
Ryan, you
in the
require
face here,
46.
which would do his challenge the world of good. To get to 8 points. Double 18.
10.
Didn't scare it.
Chaz, you require 20.
Double 10 for Chaz. Just keeps missing doubles.
Game
But
shot
not
in the
right
fourth
there.
leg.
With
Chaz
the last chance
Barstow.
saloon dart, he does find double 5. And he's not going to be bageled in his first match of the night. But if he's going to win from this position, he's going to have
Fifth
to
leg,
lift that
Chaz
average.
throwing first.
77 for him is very uncharacteristic. And he looks a bit puzzled
62.
by it. Why wouldn't you be?
$100.
There's been so much in the way of darts going on this week, and there will be lots of
180.
darts happening over the course of this weekend. Namely, our finals tomorrow, live on Sporty Stuff TV from 10 p.m. Do not miss that.
100.
The qualifiers for the World Seniors are happening in Reading this week. And our very own Chris Mason has been playing this evening
140.
in a curtain raiser event, and he's done very well. But are we about to see the real Chaz Barstow?
140. Chaz, you require 119.
We're not going to see a 119, so this will be a
59.
fantastic way to finish a
Ryan,
match.
you require 161.
Couldn't find a 141 to win. He's not going to find a 161. So as Chaz does a little bit of calisthenics in the background to loosen himself
83. Chaz, you require 60.
Can he find tops?
Game shot in the fifth
Yes,
leg.
he can.
Chaz Barstow.
This game is very much alive. You thought for a second when it was 3-0 that it was going to be a canter.
Six leg, it's Ryan to
For Ryan Furness. As soon as I said the word canter, I was thinking of Jerry Cinnamon, that great Scottish singer.
100.
There's an idea for Chaz Barstow's walk-on music at Alexandra Palace. Why not have a bit of Jerry Cinnamon?
180.
Starting to hit the 180s now, and that's one statistic he is really bossed. He's got 3, and Ryan's got none. Until now.
180.
He's getting in on the act. Testing the tonsils of our referee.
121.
Splendid stuff.
$100.
Ryan Furness has been hit hard here in this leg, and he has answered very well indeed.
85.
Chaz understands the concept
121.
that if he is going to lose a match, he cannot afford them by big margins. Furness has got the bull for the match.
96.
That's 3 match
Chaz,
darts
you
missed
require
now.
115.
And Chaz is going to have to survive even more. 2 misses at double 18.
99.
1 miss at the bull.
Ryan, you require 25.
He's going to get 2 at double 8 maybe.
Game.
And he does
shot,
get the job
and
done
a
by
match.
4 legs
Ryan
to 2.
Furness.
So he does the double over Chaz Barstow on Thursday and Friday and does his position in the table. No harm whatsoever. He gets to 8 points and he is now 2 points behind the table topper, Connor Scutt. It's a good performance from Ryan Furness. It's better than what we saw from him yesterday, but there is still work for Chaz to do as we go into match 3 for our schedule for the night. We'll see more of Martin Thomas, and we will see him up against Jared Cole, who only got 2 points yesterday and is going to have a very, very good night if he's going to make the top 3. We'll see that match when we return. Welcome back to the Online Darts Live League here, and I'm Paul the Asset Nicholson, guiding you through tonight's action in Group B, and we're about to get our first look at Jared Cole for the night. He may have left the arena yesterday shaking his head, wondering how he only walked away with 2 points. And the only person he defeated was his opponent in this game. So his first job for the evening is to do the double over Martin Thomas, and if he can do that,
First leg will be Martin to throw first. Game on.
he will give himself every opportunity of getting through this group. Now that Chaz Barstow has lost his first game and remains on 4 points.
135.
But that defeat for Chaz is not just good news for Jared. It's also good news for Martin. Because if Chaz keeps losing,
49.
Martin still has an opportunity of snagging that third spot. Now, Martin Thomas will play his
100.
third game of the night against Ryan Furness, and then he plays his last game of the group against Chaz Barstow.
130.
We will know by then as to how likely it is that Martin can get through this group.
45.
But Jared had a head-shaking Thursday. You look at his individual stats for the night,
58.
and you think to yourself, how is it possible that he could find himself in 4th position with a running average of 93.45, 5 maximums,
120.
3 ton plus checkouts, and an overall checkout percentage of over 41% for the night?
125.
How on earth did he
Marking
find
Reguan, 96.
himself in 4th spot? We'll dissect that in a second. Good recovery.
76.
But he won't be
Jared,
happy
you
with that
require
shot at tops.
135.
Get the 60.
95.
Just goes to show how good the
Marking
guide
required
was for the
20.
bullseye, because he hit the bullseye on approach. 5-5.
Game shot in the first
That
leg.
one works this
Martin
time
Thomas.
for Martin Thomas to take a 1-0 lead. It's a great shot under pressure
Second leg, it's
because
Jared
Jared was
throwing
sitting on
first.
tops, waiting to steal that leg against the throw.
51.
Wherever you're tuning in from tonight, please don't hesitate to get in touch. I've already had a friend of mine from Australia texting me, saying they're watching and they're really enjoying the coverage.
60.
Might as well mention his name, Tim Gatwood from Victoria, one of my oldest friends. Really good to hear from him. Fine dart player as well.
140.
It's been a very busy day. We've had our
95.
Group C action earlier. And in between the two sessions, the PDC have released next year's calendar. So everybody's been
60.
frantic, filling up their calendar for 2022. I think next year is going to be the busiest year of darts
100.
ever. More events for women. More events for the juniors. More events for the development tour guys and girls.
126.
More events for the pros in Europe, worldwide, and in Players Championships in the UK and
60.
in Germany.
Jared, you require 124.
So much to talk about, but right now, it's all about Jared Cole and treble 18 and Bull. Well, decided not to do it. I can understand why.
56.
But I thought that maybe the right player was going treble 18 anyway.
$60. Jared, you
The
require
stats tell us
68.
that he will give this a scare. And now he should take it.
Game shot in the second leg.
Just
Jared
about
Cole.
in the bottom portion of that double four. It was about a hair's breadth between the point of that dart and the double 13, but it was just inside the wire.
Third leg, it's Martin throwing first.
It was 4-3 when they played yesterday.
140.
Martin Thomas missed one match dart and played well. Averaged 96.44 in that game, but it wasn't enough.
125.
There was a key 150 checkout from Jared in that match, and that was his biggest checkout of the night.
180.
The scoring from Thomas tonight has been good. Averaged 90 in his first
58.
game. He's not quite at that range yet, but he is very much warming up now. 25 or a 45 maybe, or a treble 7.
139.
If he had inadvertently hit the treble 19 there,
60.
he would have left himself
Martin,
on
you
double
require
2
42.
after 9 darts. You don't see that every day. Double 8. Plenty of time.
34.
He's only 250 in front. That's half a leg. And it was half a leg that Richie Burnett played on a little bit earlier as we said goodbye to Richie for 2021. It was
130.
pretty sad in the end. He's put in
Martin,
a
you
massive
require
shift this
8.
year. But the Welsh flag turns to this man for the evening.
Game
As
shot
he
in the
hits
third leg.
double 4
Martin
and takes
Thomas.
a 2-1 lead. So on the throw we go, with Jared Cole returning to the hockey to start the next leg
Fourth leg,
with a
it's
one-leg
Jared
deficit.
throwing first. $180.
First 180 of the match for Jared. He knows he's going to need a fair few of those if he's going to get through this group. Starts in 4th
45.
position, and it is the top 3 that will progress. Judging by the leg difference that Jared
57.
starts on, -5, he is not going to overtake Chaz Barstow in 3rd position if he wins this match now.
95.
He's going to have to chip away at that deficit over the course of the entire night.
119.
And for a person who was within one solitary dart of winning Group A this week,
91.
he's now in a
Jared
very
require
precarious
145.
situation to make Saturday night at all.
57.
Needs a 60 to leave the finish.
60.
And Jared's got time this time.
Jared, you require 88.
Double 14.
74.
Silly Jared. Languished on double 7. And not many players like that double. Especially with the way his darts
100.
land.
Jared, you require 14.
Got to make your mind up if you're going to split this, and he is immediately going for the split option.
Game shot in the 4th leg.
Very well
Jared
done, you have to say, but was he going for 10 double 2? No, he was going for 6 double 4, but it worked anyway.
5th leg, Martin throwing first.
Again, the beauty of the 10 and the 6. Having 2 even numbers next to each other
95.
that leave even numbered doubles. Use the 10 and the 6 if you can. I think that was still a wise play. Going for double 7 there was a bit of a pitfall. It's one of the reasons why dart players
60.
especially don't like odd numbers. The amount of dart players that I know that have this, I think it's called
97.
triskaidekaphobia, a phobia of odd numbers. When they have the volume on their TV or the volume of the radio station in their car,
55.
if a number registers the volume, they like to have it on an even number, not an odd number. We're strange animals, us dart players.
100.
It's all bogged down to the fact that we don't like to leave odd numbers in the sport. So it has transcended to other parts of our lives.
30. Jared, you require 164.
Does he fancy it? Oh, Jared, you're letting the
132.
crowd down. Everybody at home was wanting you to go for that. But I have to tip my hat and say that was the right thing to do.
140.
To take the lead for the first time.
32.
Double 8.
Game shot in the 5th
Very
leg.
proficient
Jared
stuff
Cole.
from JC. And he now has the opportunity to serve it out for a 4-2 win, which would put Martin Thomas out of the possibility
6 leg. It's
of
Jared
getting
throwing
through
first.
this group. He loses this leg or the next, and Martin Thomas's best total that he can get is 4
100.
points. And you know for a fact that Barstow or Cole will make at least 6. It's the point of no return.
95.
He either wins the next 2 legs and his next 2 matches, or he's going home.
$81.
Even if he does win this leg and the next and his next 2 matches, the likelihood is he's going home anyway. Because his leg difference is horrendous at minus 11.
80.
That dart on the floor was good for Jared.
60.
Anytime your opponent is not registering anything for a dart thrown is good news for you. Used to be an old saying
95.
in county darts when I used to play for Northumberland back 20 years ago. When somebody had a bounce out or a fallout from the board, you would say one word.
140.
And that word is music. A couple of my old Northumberland pals got me onto that. Because my old pal Stevie Wanless used to say it more than anybody
99.
else.
Jared, you require 120.
And music was music to my ears. Is it music for Jared?
100.
Not quite.
Martin, you require 132.
The not so skinny lady hasn't sung yet. Oh, he just misses the second ball. That was close. After he got what was an immense
92.
132
Jared, you
check out a little bit
require
earlier.
20.
Double 10. Jared
Game
Cole has
shot
won by
and the
4
match.
legs to
Jared
2
Cole.
and has done the double over Martin Thomas, who now is eliminated from the possibility of getting through this group in the top 3. We are guaranteed to see at least 6 points from the likes of Jared Cole, Chaz Barstow, and the others are already further on from that. But it was a good performance and good timing from Jared Cole, because he got that break of throw in leg 5 and then stuck to his task to win by 4 legs to 2. We are going to see Connor Scutt again in his challenge for the top spot. He hasn't been defeated yet. Can he be defeated by Ryan Furness when we come back? Five players in this group, but now only 4 of them can qualify, with 3 spots up for grabs, as Martin Thomas has now been officially eliminated from this group. He has 2 matches to go up against this guy when he plays his next match, and he will have a crack at Chaz Barstow in game number 8. But we will have a look towards the top of the table here, with the 2 players who have amassed the most points up to this point, with Scutt on 10
First
and Furness on
Ryan
8.
to throw first. Game on.
It wasn't a particularly tight contest yesterday between these two, because we saw one of the best games from Connor Scutt this week, when he averaged 103.31 and put in one of those golden performances on the doubles. 4 hits from 4 attempts.
140.
You'd have to say that Connor Scutt is pretty safe
100.
at this point in time on 10 points. With 3 matches to go for Jared Cole and Chaz Barstow, the best they can do is 10 points.
140.
But knowing Connor as I do, I've got to know him a little bit over the last couple
60.
of months. He's a feisty young character, and he will not want to have one defeat on his record in this group to go into Saturday night.
65.
He'll want to feel like he's the number 1 seed. And based on form this week, I would have to say that he is the favourite to win this week.
100. Connie require 156.
It's another hot start.
60.
But not a start that is insurmountable. This tall lad from Salisbury can stick around and be like a splinter under the fingernail of Connor Scutt and just be annoying for possibly 7 legs. 2 double 19s.
70.
He will feel he should have hit that.
Ryan, you require
That first
60.
start at the basement double was... Oh, hold on a minute. Is that a great guide all of a sudden?
40.
What a strange old
Connor,
visit
you
that
require
was.
19.
Single 3 leaves double 8.
Game shot in the
That is
first
the
leg.
first leg to Connor Scutt against the throw. So it is a strong start for the man from Surrey. Just
Second
has
leg is
an
Connor to
abundance
throw
of
first.
confidence right now.
Game on.
Exuding it against all of his opponents. He's got a 2-2 record against Ryan Furness. Ryan won the first couple of games they played
57.
on the 25th and 26th of October. But since then, Connor has won 2 himself. One yesterday and one on the 27th of October. A couple of shout-outs from social media for people watching this evening. One of our regulars, Lee Seymour, who's a big Kevin Burness fan. Let me just emphasise Kevin Burness, not Ryan Furness. That would be a bit of a tongue twister if they played each other at some point.
140.
It is possible because Kevin Burness is in Champions Week after coming 3rd last week. But Lee Seymour has been in touch saying that he has met Kevin today
58.
at the World Seniors in Reading and got his shirt signed. So well done to Lee. And thank you for tuning in as always. I've also had a tweet from Tom Stymons, who is loving the online Darts Live League and tuning in from Belgium. Thank you very much for tuning in, Tom. Great to have you along with us.
140.
Tidy visit.
180.
Compacted darts onto a pinhead there to leave 41 after 12. Furiously accurate.
98. Ryan, you require 41.
To equalise and to get his throw straight back.
Game shot in the second leg.
That is what he
Ryan
does.
Furness.
Obviously didn't like having his throw broken in leg 1, but the response, hat-tippingly brilliant.
Third leg, it's Ryan throwing first.
The 3 players that you've got in our Saturday finals currently: Chris Gilliland of Northern Ireland, Adam Smith-Neil, who had a great
43.
Group C, and Scott Walters, who fought like a knight on a horse with a very large jousting pole at the end to make his way to 2nd position. He played some stunning darts in his last couple of matches. We'll talk more about those performances tomorrow when we see Scott.
100.
Walters is from the very same region
91.
as Chaz Barstow. Smith Neal from the West Midlands of England. And, like I say, Gilliland of Northern Ireland.
30.
We've already got a Belgian in Champions Week. And tomorrow,
100.
one other thing I will do, apart from commentating on the finals, is let you know who is playing in week 3 of qualifying. That's not next week. It's the week after the Grand Slam.
140.
We will take next week off. And when we come back, we will have a fresh Group A, a Group C on Thursday and Friday morning, and a Group B like this
96.
on Thursday and Friday night. But the players in that week, I can tell you that there are 4 debutants, and some of those names you are definitely going to recognise.
100. Connor, you require 114.
19s. Did this a little bit earlier, so it's 57 and Bull.
46.
Bit of a sketchy visit.
Ryan, you require 88.
And Ryan is in here for a 2-1 lead. I think that dart, a double 14 with dart 2 was too
Connor,
close.
You require 68.
Double 16 for another break.
52.
He has come down a level in this
Ryan,
game.
you require 28.
Was averaging 90 in his first game, Connor, but now he's averaging 85. Can he find a gap?
14.
He can't.
Connor, you require 60.
So not only is Connor Scutt a good player, he's getting a bit of luck.
Game shot.
He takes advantage of it.
Connor
So we
Scutt.
have 3 consecutive breaks of throw in this match. Is someone going to hold at some point, or are we going to continue to have breaks?
Fourth leg. It's Connor to throw first. Game on.
I'm not ashamed to say, because I have seen the players that have been invited to play here in qualifying weeks 3 and 4.
140.
I will return for the first 3 days of week 4 after I have been to Minehead for the Players' Championship finals.
100.
I'm not ashamed to say that it is probably the most exciting Group A I have seen since the very start of this project.
140.
I am really looking forward to it, and I am not going to tell you who it is, because I want someone else to have the joy of telling you who that group will have.
60.
Got to be saying this at some point, because
130.
the possibility of the last Champions Week in early December, oh, the mind boggles. Could be an incredible
93.
display of
Connor,
darts
you require 86.
come that time. But who's going to be there? Scutt for double 16.
Game shot.
And
in
that's
the
a
fourth
12
leg.
darter. So
Connor
we do
Scutt.
finally get a hold of throw. And when we get one, we get a 4-visit hold of throw. A fantastic showing of form when Connor Scutt really needed it.
Fifth leg. It's Ryan throwing first.
Just when he needed to lift the level, he's able to find that 12 darter and make his opponent feel miserable.
58.
That is the mark of a merciless young player who cares about nobody but himself, and there is nothing wrong with that.
140.
When you get on this hockey and you're playing singles, you should have tunnel vision. You should care nothing for your opponent.
58.
The master of psychology on a dartboard, Eric Bristow, said that.
100.
Tunnel vision. Don't care for your opponent. Be ruthless. And Scutt has got those qualities.
60.
He's not far away from being guaranteed into Saturday's finals with 2 games to spare
100.
to maintain a brilliant unbeaten run in this group, which would be 6 games.
41.
I don't think Ryan
Colony
Furness
require 161.
has got much in the way of resistance left here.
55.
Unless he can find a maximum, potentially.
60.
Doesn't find
Colony
anything.
require 106.
And it is match point to Connor Scutt.
Game.
Well,
Shot,
well,
and
well.
match.
We're just
Connor
waiting to see
Scutt.
what he was going to do with that 106. I knew he was creative, but going bullseye first and finishing it in that style just goes to show that Connor Scutt is a bit of a showman. He was only averaging about 85 a couple of legs in. He was not playing well. So to end up with an average of nearly 92 just goes to show you how well he played in the last couple of legs. He's on 12 points and he is safe for tomorrow night in the weekly finals. As far as other people are concerned, Barstow and Cole are not safe, but they are about to go head-to-head in our 5th match of the night. That is when we come back. Welcome back to Group B action here with the Online Darts Live League. And this next game is rather big when it comes to qualifying from this group, because as you can see, Barstow and Cole are both on 4 points, and they are adrift of the other two players in the top 2 positions. So going head to head here, this is a rather big game. They have more games after this. Chaz has got a couple, and Jared's got a couple. But going head to head here, this is as big as it gets in this
First
group.
leg will be Jared to throw first. Game on.
Chaz had the darts yesterday. It is Jared who has the darts
96.
today. Apologies for our graphic not being accurate so far. You can see that Connor Scutt did win by 4 legs to 1 in the previous match.
42.
We will change that as soon as we possibly can.
$180. 57.
I'll try and keep you up to date with the scores as best I can. Well, there you go. It has been flipped over. You can see Jared Cole on 225.
85.
And he turns that into 140. He's looking to reverse his fortunes from yesterday against
60.
Chaz Barstow,
Jared, you require 140.
where he averaged 100 and still lost.
100.
Perfect setup. Small lead of 302 here.
57. Jared,
So
you
for the
require
ideal
40.
start in a quick-fire game. Doesn't find
20.
the double 10 and doesn't want to have one of those legs where he's constantly searching for the winning double. Just wants to get rid of it.
60.
Even with Barstow north
Jared,
of a finish,
you require 20.
he doesn't want to mess around.
Game
And he
shot in his
doesn't.
first leg.
Fair play to
Jared
Jared,
Cole.
because at some points this week, he has really struggled to put his opponents away quicker than he has.
Second leg, it's Chaz throwing first.
He has let some legs go that he definitely should have won.
99.
One leg in particular in Group A, where he threw 33 darts in the leg and had his throw broken.
97.
He probably doesn't want me to mention that anymore, but it's quite hard to forget.
134.
So let's have a look at the permutations for these two, because they're 4 points behind Ryan Furness in second position.
57.
Whoever wins this match will get to within 1 win of that person. And he plays next against Martin
78.
Thomas. And if he beats Martin Thomas, he's safe. Pretty much anyway,
134.
judging by his leg difference. Something ridiculous would have to happen for him to be knocked out of the top 3. So it could well be a dogfight between these two to see who goes to Saturday night.
57. Chaz, you require 90.
Bullseye first. Oh, look at that. What a beauty.
Game shot in the second leg. Chaz Barstow.
Well, seeing as we have got some Australians watching along tonight, why don't we quote the great Dennis Cometti? Centimetre perfect.
Third leg, Jared throwing first.
You do not get a better 90 finish than that.
99.
You don't have to be centimetre perfect when it comes to darts.
140.
You've got to be millimetre perfect. That's why people love this sport. Yet again, it's a fast,
34.
furious, tense game, like Game 6 was yesterday. You just feel that Chaz is starting to motor little by little. He will not enjoy the fact that he lost his first game by 4 legs to 2. and was defeated by Ryan Furness for the second day in succession.
29.
But is Jared Cole starting to falter at the wrong time here?
91.
Just at the same moment that Chaz is finding his game. That's better.
140. Chaz, you require 130.
Might go bull again.
65.
Gets half of it. And we'll go for that same segment when he returns. Ooh. 3 bags full, sir.
171. Chaz, you require 65.
46 is what he has remaining. 6 tops.
Game
And he
shot
takes
in
the
third
lead.
leg. Chaz Barstow.
He was put under big pressure from Jared Cole with that 171 approach. But I love that little step back from Chaz when he missed the 25 by some margin. He checked with the referee. He wanted to know what he had left. And he found it just in time and starts leg 4 with a maximum. His first of the contest, turning the screw on Jared Cole.
58.
Just get a load of those darts that Chaz Barstow is using. They are old school. There is nothing new school about them.
180.
Short, dumpy little things with, let's have a look, 3 rings, another 3, 12 rings in them, painted red.
90.
They're the kind of darts you would have bought from a local store maybe 15, 20, even 30 years ago.
57.
There's nothing fancy about them.
45.
But he's all about using what works.
55.
And I love to watch Chaz play it. I've become a big fan of his this year. He's the kind of player I want to watch. And if he takes another 90 and 2 with bull first,
46. Chaz,
we'll be getting very close to naming this check out the Barstow. But he's got the bull and misses
54. Jared, you require 160.
Fortunately, double 18 instead of 25. Hold on to your hats. What a chance that was. It was a great first start.
Chaz, you require 36.
Double 9. Somehow
18.
it hasn't found the target.
Jared, you require 84.
Double 12. Oh, Jared. He's had a real few looseners tonight.
72.
At the wrong times.
Chaz, you require 18.
Oh, and he's hit
No
double
score.
12. Well. When someone wants double 12, they
Jared,
don't
you
hit it. And when
require
someone wants
12.
double 9, they hit double 12. What a strange leg. Double 3.
Game shot.
Jared
in the fourth
Cole
leg.
somehow
Jared Cole.
gets a break of throw there just when Chaz Barstow was putting his foot to the floor to get within 1 of victory. He's been pegged back,
Fifth leg. Jared throwing first.
but he has to blame himself.
180.
What more are we going to see from this fixture? When Barstow started the previous leg with a maximum, you thought, surely it's going to be 3-1 to him.
95.
And now it's Cole that starts with a maximum.
59.
It's good to see that Chaz is seeing the funny side of what happened in the previous leg. But inside, he'll be writhing.
140.
You can see that he just can't understand why some of these darts are planting to the left. That technique of his
67.
is excellent, but sometimes he has this little tendency for the elbow to just go a bit on the inside to snap the hand further to the right, which causes him to pull the dart. And as soon as he slips, Barstow comes back in, gets another maximum, his second.
139.
It sets up another
86.
break opportunity. At the bull.
61.
Jared Cole take his chance to get to 3-2.
Jared, you require 56.
Double top. Finds double 10 to take the lead.
Cole.
Bit of fire about that leg from JC. They are tightly packed in the table at 4 points each, and their leg difference is very similar too.
Chaz throwing first.
Cole starting at -3 before this game, and Barstow -2.
96.
So if Cole does get across the line in this match, he will change positions in the table with Barstow and provisionally go to third.
93.
Well, there could be plenty of time left in this match.
99.
Take one thing into consideration as well. Jared Cole has never beaten Chaz Barstow.
58.
5 games, 5 defeats. And yesterday he
57.
lost 4 legs to 3 to Chaz for the second consecutive game against him. He will not want that to happen again.
53.
But as this 6th leg does progress, it's increasingly likely that we will see a 7th.
137.
Thanks to that 137 from Chaz, he's looking at 112 to take us to a very familiar position when these two play. It is, of course, a
57.
rematch
Chaz, you
of the
require
Phase 4
112.
Champions Week Finals Grand Final match. What a hit on that 60.
Game shot at the 6th leg.
That treble
Chaz
20
Barstow.
to lead him up to that 32 bed is one of the best darts I've seen today. Right in the corner. He goes back to the middle of the oche.
7th and final leg.
And the 112
Jared
checkout
first.
takes us to leg 7. Massive
140.
massive 140 to start this one off.
100.
This year and his career to this point have been
100.
littered with opportunities missed. Is this going to be an opportunity taken for Jared?
140.
Because he's been equalised after 6 darts. Got to go up to the 18s. 18s is open.
57.
He's in trouble now. Big trouble.
140. 56. Chaz, you require
It's
121.
a big sigh there from Jared. As Chaz goes for double 14
107.
and is the first to miss a match dart.
Jared, you require 148.
This would be some way to win this match. He's not going to hit it. And if Chaz hits double 7, Jared Cole is at the point in this group where he needs a favour
43.
from somebody else.
Chaz, you require 14. Game.
Match
shot,
start 3
and the match.
for Chaz Barstow is good. And he wins by 4 legs to 3 against Jared Cole once again to keep his streak alive of beating Jared Cole. It's now 6 wins from 6 games. I think he might be the owner of the Jared Cole voodoo doll. Again, Jared Cole, good performance, but ultimately the stats tell us that Chaz was the better player, and he was towards the end of the last leg. So he's still in the ownership spot of 3rd place. Can he keep a hold of it? as we look at Martin Thomas and Ryan Furness, who come back for match number 6 after the break. Welcome back. We've hit the halfway point of our coverage for the night, and this is how things stand. Connor Scutt safe at the top of the table. Ryan Furness now within 1 win of safety, and he has 2 matches remaining. But the battle for third position, that will intensify with 5 matches to go in this group. The only person who cannot qualify is Martin Thomas, who has a match against Ryan Furness here, and will finish up against Chaz Barstow in match number 8.
It's Martin to throw first. Game on.
So Martin can take the shackles off and just have a crack for a couple of games, because he knows he's going back to Aberystwyth either after this or first thing in the morning. As for Ryan Furness,
97.
I think he's going to be sticking around. He just needs to get out of Jared Cole's range.
41.
And in doing so, with a win in this match, he might be out of Chaz Barstow's range as well. Because if Martin Thomas
60.
does beat Chaz Barstow in match number 8, he will do not only Ryan Furness a favour, but he'll do Jared a huge one.
140.
I knew that last game was big.
100.
Looking at the table now that we know what has happened, Jared Cole is really needing the 2 wins from his 2 remaining games, and he does need help now as well.
140.
When these two faced each other yesterday, it was a tight affair, 4 legs to 3. Ryan scraped it in the end
140.
after surviving 4 match
Martin,
darts from Martin.
80.
He looks at double top.
Game shot in the first
And the
leg.
pressure's
Martin
off.
Thomas.
And like I've said on many occasions, when the pressure is taken away, you see what these dart players can really do.
Second leg, it's Ryan to throw first.
It was a very strange game they had yesterday. Ryan won it with an 84.85 average. 30% on his doubles. And his opponent averaged almost 10 more than him.
180.
It hasn't been a week for the Welsh. 2 players from Wales
40.
eliminated in Group C earlier today. Martin Thomas eliminated from Group B already. So in a year that has been very Welsh for darts, it's not going to be their week. You can't have it all.
98.
I wonder what the Welsh are going to do at the Grand Slam. Get to win Price going for a 3rd Grand Slam title. And what's to say that Johnny Clayton won't get a first
60.
after an incredible season?
$45.
Ryan's looking for 105 plus here. Got to go for the bull. He thinks twice and gets it right.
130.
Well thought out.
$41.
And because of that good calculation,
Ryan, you require 142.
he is now favourite for the leg. Very much so now.
110.
It's going to take
Martin, you
a
require
really accurate finish here
137.
from Martin to take it. You can see the game plan with his game. He's looking to leave tops. Not just once, but twice. The 57 would have left 2 double tops.
Ryan, you
Because he
require
loves that double
32.
so much. That's his favourite target. Double 8.
16.
Could be costly.
Martin, you require 40.
Double 10. And finds
Game
double
shot in the
5.
second leg.
It's a difficult
Martin
switch
Thomas.
when you've already split double top and double 10. But he's already done it tonight. He's taken a 2-0 lead against someone
Third
who
leg,
is
Martin
almost
going first.
into Saturday night. And I have to emphasise the almost. The last thing he needs right now is a
100.
big loss. His leg difference is good. It's +2. But if Martin has his way here,
93.
Ryan will be looking over his shoulder at Chaz Barstow and possibly Jared Cole.
45.
What you want to do if you're Ryan Furness is get over the line by winning this game. And then you've got a free game in Game 9 against Jared Cole where all the pressure's on him.
125. $57.
Another thing to mention about Welsh darts this year is, of course, Jim Williams, who will be at the Grand Slam from tomorrow. Not his debut at that tournament.
140.
He has been there before. But he's there in the knowledge that he will be on the professional tour with the PDC for the next 2 years.
59.
He has spent a fair bit of time here this year as well and had some success. And we wish Jim every success in the next couple of years. And as much as we love our project here at the Online Darts Live League, I hope we never see Jim again here, because that means he's doing well in the PDC.
140.
I love what Martin's just done there.
84.
That makes this 84 look a lot harder. Double six.
78. Martin, you require 100.
I sense trouble. I sense trouble.
60.
Oh, that was a wicked
Ryan
deflection. It just caught too much of the tungsten and didn't nestle in. I think he might have hit the metal number there. And it didn't go to plan, that visit.
4.
Not at all. Although maybe, judging by where the flight was on the carpet,
Martin, you
the
require
flight
40.
might have come out of the stem in flight.
Game shot in the third
Nothing
leg.
seems to have gone Ryan Furness's way in this contest. And Martin's just doing his job, as Ryan is doing running repairs in the background to make sure he's got 3 darts to use at the start of leg 4.
60. 100.
I've been wondering over the last few days, because this is my last full week of commentary here at the Online Darts Live League.
60.
I will be back for 3 more days in late November. But we might have to have a few polls to see the best game of the year.
140.
The best performance of the year, I think, still belongs to Jason Askew, with the record average of 118 plus.
81.
But we've got a lot of games to choose from for game of the year. Charlie Kostefin has
100.
refereed more games than anybody else. Richie Burnett has played more games than anybody else. I'm pretty sure that Chris Mason has commentated on the most.
60. Martin, you require 161.
Martin Thomas is looking for a 161 to finish this one off.
97.
He has had a 170 at some point, so he's not going to get a personal best finish there. But he may be about to get his first win of this group
60.
at last.
Martin, you require 64.
16 for tops. And you might see a bit of a celebration here.
Game, shot.
He's finally got a win.
Martin Thomas.
And you can see the relief from Martin Thomas there as he does get a win and he raises his hands to the ceiling. And it never rains but it pours. He hasn't won the last couple of nights, but when he does get one, it's 4 legs to 0. And it was a very good display. He took advantage of all of the misses from Ryan Furness at certain points in the game. An 88.41, even 17 darters throughout, or the equivalent of, with 44% on the doubles. It's a tidy display. He's played better than that this week, but he has not got the results until then. So, Ryan Furness pegged back and stays on 8 points in the table. We'll take a short break now, but when we come back, it's Connor Scutt back to try and keep his unbeaten run going against a Jared Cole that really needs a win. Hello and welcome back to our coverage of Group B here in the Online Darts Live League. It's been a very competitive evening and we are about to have maybe another twist in the tail because Connor Scutt at the top is looking for 7 games in a row when it comes to wins, but his opponent Jared Cole really does need a win here more than he does. If he doesn't find it and Connor does keep that unbeaten streak to 7, then it will be a safe passage to Saturday night for Ryan Furness. He will be safe. And if that does happen and Barstow beats Thomas in the next game, our 3 finalists will be found.
First leg, it's Jared to throw first. Game on. .93.
One thing we know about this game is that it will be quick. These two, when they played a couple of days ago, gave us the game of the week.
140.
I don't even think that's up for debate. It was 102 for Scutt and 107 for Jared Cole.
96.
It was a brilliant game.
.105.
But what Jared would do to swap that win for a win in this one, just to keep his hopes alive.
140.
He's got 2 matches left. One is against Connor Scutt, the other against Ryan Furness.
180.
And his destiny is out of his hands right now. If he wins those 2 games,
140.
he has to rely on Chaz Barstow slipping up. 88.
Game shot.
And it looks like Connor Scutt is not in a charitable mood because that is an 11-dart break of throw and a very small dagger in the heart of JC to start this one off.
Second leg, it's Connor to throw first. Game on.
Don't be afraid to get in touch and let me know if you've got a favourite Online Darts Live League match of the year.
60.
One of our backroom staff, the ever brilliant Mark Walker, has just given his opinion, and I actually have to agree with him because I was commentating on this match.
180.
It was Mike Warburton against Connor Scutt, and he averaged 115.62.
97.
And he missed 4 darts at doubles in the match. It could have been the first Online Darts Live League match to see an average of over 120. It was a remarkable display.
140.
We're going to have to see some A++ Jared Cole if he's going to get through Connor Scutt in this form.
36.
Chances like that 160 might have to be taken, judging by what Scutt's about to do.
180.
He fills his bucket.
Jared, you require 160.
And Jared needs to steal this leg.
100.
But it could be Connor Scutt who was putting in
24.
a bit of a show here.
Game
As
shot
double
in the
12
second
goes
leg.
in.
Connor Scutt.
And I've just mentioned a performance that was close to 120 average. It could well have been in that range.
Third leg, Jared.
But based on the
going
form
first.
we've seen in the first couple of legs here, what's to say we won't get it in this game?
98.
When he puts it together, he's a frightening talent.
100.
I've seen form like this from the likes of Aaron Monk and some other players coming through, the likes of Sean
85.
Griffiths. They've had promise. They've done things within the sport, like winning the World Youth or making the semi-finals of the World Youth Championship.
91.
But ultimately, we have seen those players struggle most of the time with something. In fact, it's funny I mentioned
58.
Aaron Monk because Connor Scutt is going to play for his country with Aaron Monk. in the coming months.
60.
They won their place recently in Bridlington.
60.
50 behind, but not for long.
115.
This is turning into a bit of a disaster for Jared. Even though he's playing well and averaging well, he hasn't had a shot at a double yet.
100.
Will he get a shot here?
135.
What if Connor's got anything to do with it? Oh, he gets 2 bullseyes to leave double 8. Now he's just showing off.
Jared, you require 100.
Got to take it. Well, it was neither there
60.
at tops. It was neither
Connor
at the 60.
16.
It was just somewhere in between. He was caught in 2 minds.
Game shot
And
in the
Connor
third
Scutt
leg.
with a 16
Connor
darter
Scutt.
goes to 3-0 up. This is destroying his opponent with merciless effect. It's like Street Fighter, and he's ready to put the finishing move on his opponent.
Fourth leg, it's Connor throwing first.
Is he in the mood for a personal best?
60.
Because he's currently over his personal best of 111.04. And this is awful for Jared Cole's leg difference.
99.
It's the only word I can use because it's currently at -4. And if he loses 4-0, -8 is brilliant news for Barstow.
180.
And the bad news keeps getting worse.
134.
Even when Connor starts with a bad visit with no trebles, he comes up with a 180 in the next one.
140.
Just too good. It's only a matter of time before he wins this game. I hate to write off Jared Cole at any point, but sometimes you've just got to say that your opponent is
90.
just being too destructive.
Calling for 121.
60 for double 18.
105.
And if he gets double 8 with the first start and the next visit, it might be the quickest match of the year. It feels like he's done this in a matter of 5 minutes.
139. Connie requires 16.
Double 4.
Game.
Brilliant
shot,
display.
And the match.
I'll be really
Connor
interested to see
Scutt.
what the final average is, but that is catastrophic for Jared Cole. He's still alive, but barely. But one thing we can say about that display from Connor, it has made sure that Ryan Furness is into Saturday night. So let's look at the stats. It's 111.33. It's a new personal best, and the second time this week he has averaged 111. That's exactly the personal best of Chaz Barstow. So he is doing wonderful things, and with 80% on the doubles as well. I think there's another level for him to find, and he's got one more game to find that level tonight. Chaz Barstow has just been given a favour by Connor Scutt, and he's up against Martin Thomas, who will finish his campaign in Group B next. Welcome back. It's game number 8 about to happen, and it is Chaz Barstow's opportunity to get himself through to Saturday's finals. With the top 2 positions now cemented, we have Ryan Furness and Connor Scutt definitely through to join the others who have got through already this week. But if it is to be the double over the last couple of nights over Martin Thomas for Chaz, That will see him safe, and Jared Cole couldn't do anything about it.
It's Chaz to throw first. Game on.
He has an uncanny knack of leaving his best stuff for Saturday nights, Chaz Barstow, when the money's on the line.
57.
As long as he does enough to get there, he'll leave some very efficient stuff
140.
and explosive stuff for the last day of the week. You need that sometimes.
81.
And judging by the way that Connor Scutt is playing, he's going to need it when he plays him in match 10. Now, I was saying that maybe that game
60.
that Connor Scutt has just had in beating Jared Cole 4-0 might have been close to the quickest game we've seen this year.
180.
It's not even the quickest one this week. In fact, he couldn't even beat his own record for the week.
180.
Back-to-back 180s here, and Chaz is at it again.
140.
What a great first leg.
Martin,
We'll
you
come back to
require
that point in a second
121.
about the speed of the previous game, because Martin Thomas is looking for 51 and bull. And that would have been really good
80.
news for Jared Cole.
Chaz, you require 43.
He's looking for 3 tops. Or 3 and tops, not 3 double tops. But he does find
Game
double
shot
10
in the first leg.
and takes the
Just
first leg.
Barstow.
So that is the first choke mark he requires. If he gets 3 more in this match, Jared Cole is out.
Second leg, Martin.
Alongside
going
Martin. But yes, Connor Scutt in that 4-0 win.
first. 125.
6 minutes, 57 seconds. And you might think to yourself, boy, that's quick.
58.
But I'm reliably informed that it is the 7th fastest match. That boggles the mind, doesn't it?
100.
I think Michael van Gerwen has beaten somebody in a best of 11 match in less time than that. That puts that in perspective.
140.
Before we finish the year, what we'll do is publish a great deal of these mind-boggling
100.
statistics to give you an indication of what these players have done this year. Chaz is looking for the 171.
133.
Falling one short, still leaves him a finish. That one did not work out properly
Chaz, you
for
require
Martin.
170.
It's an invitation for Chaz to possibly take this leg with 6 darts
60.
and 170, but he doesn't find
Martin,
the
you
treble.
require 140.
Does he leave tops?
60.
Not yet, at
Chaz, you
least.
require 110.
That doesn't help. So he's not going to take 170 and 6 darts, which at this level is a slip.
40. Martin,
In
you
fact, he's
require
only scored
80.
100 with 6 darts. Double top for Martin.
Game shot in the
Lovely,
second leg.
lovely hold of
Martin
throw.
Thomas.
He did need some mistakes from Chaz in order to get that hold of throw. But when he got to the double, he didn't hesitate.
Third leg, Chaz throwing first.
He's got a very similar game plan, Martin Thomas, to Robert Thornton, the Phase 5 champion, of course.
81.
Score heavily, leave tops, get out of the leg with a win. That's the way that Robert plays the game. And they play a very similar pace as well.
60.
Somewhat old school throw that these two guys have got. I've likened Chaz Barstow's throw to Ronnie Baxter, of course,
42.
throughout the course of this year. That sideways hold of the dart, and then when he delivers it forwards, he straightens it out.
140.
But you don't see many players throwing the way that Martin Thomas does anymore. It's very much
60.
a field throw. Very compact. As soon as he brings that dart down through his eye line and gets the dart to land flat.
60.
Just goes to show that there are many different ways
180.
to deliver a very good, accurate dart, and Chaz has just proven that by leaving the Keith Della with a maximum.
$135. Chaz, you require 138. $58. Martin,
Does
you
Thomas
require 106.
have a break of throw in him right here? He could well do. Chaz holds his breath.
86.
And now he can breathe.
Chaz, you require 80.
Now what does he do? Treble 13. I wouldn't blame him if he wants to go for this. Doesn't find it.
24.
Big mistake.
Martin,
It has
you
to be
require
said.
20.
Still double 10.
Game shot
No
in the
longer
third
double
leg.
10 because Martin Thomas is taking the lead. He can't get through this group, but he can walk away from this group with 4 points. And he's halfway to that mark.
Fourth leg, it's Martin to throw first. Game on.
It's one of those strange situations where even if Chaz loses this match,
41.
he has the knowledge that if he wins his last game, he will still be safe. It's got nothing to do with leg difference anymore.
180.
It's all to do with just getting one more win to make sure he is out of reach of Jared Cole. But here is the problem.
100.
If he does lose to Martin Thomas, his last game is against Connor Scutt,
100.
who is flying. And if you think there's going to be any sympathy for Chaz's situation, think again. Because Connor's only one win away from a perfect 16 points in this group, and he wants that.
26.
If I were Chaz, I'd want to get the points in this one.
91.
Because if Jared Cole does beat Ryan Furness in match 9, the pressure will firmly be on the man
174. Chaz
from
130.
Winchester. As Martin Thomas leaves a 160 after that beautiful 174.
57. Martin, you require 160.
Can he sneak into 140? There's your answer. But he does
83.
cut his
Chaz,
score in
you require
half.
73.
Double 8.
Game shot.
Very
in the fourth
defiant
leg.
stuff from
Chaz
Chaz Barstow. He had some really sketchy darts in the last couple of legs, but that was perfect. That was exactly what he needed.
Fifth leg, it's Chaz to throw first. Game on. $140.
I've had players who have been perfect throughout a group. It hasn't happened in Group A. The best effort we've seen there was Colin Osborne a
140.
couple of weeks ago. He got himself 28 points from a possible 30. We have seen Kevin Burness
140.
and Josh Richardson get the 20 points in Group C. Adam Smith-Neal was on for that a little bit earlier today, but faltered
100.
at the last couple of hurdles. But in Group B, we've seen two players
134.
get all 8 wins. James Richardson and Mike Warburton have done that. And Connor Scutt is looking to add his name to that list when he plays in match 10.
100. Chaz, you require 80.
Chaz wants 3-2. That leaves 78. Now he does like double-double, but this is probably not the time to do it.
75.
He'll come back
Martin,
for double
you require
6 if this is not
161.
found. I said if. Oh, it wasn't far away. can see just how relaxed
64.
Martin is now
Chaz,
compared to
you
what he
require
was like
12.
yesterday. And Chaz
No
can't find
score.
double six.
Martin, you require 97.
What a chance. That's gone. Oh boy, double 19. I didn't expect him to go that
78.
route. I thought he was going for treble 18, double 12.
Chaz, you require 12.
They're showing the versatility. Double three. Can't miss it. And
9.
does.
Martin, you require 19.
How much more drama can we take this week? Double 8 for an unlikely 3-2 lead. And it is
Game
to
shot in
break the
fifth
throw
leg.
as well.
Martin
He will
Thomas.
have the chance to put Barstow in the bin. But like a basketball on a semi-good shot,
Sixth leg.
he is
Martin
currently
can throw first.
circling the rim right now. Still got the chance of making the shot. But boy, is this precarious stuff for Barstow.
140. $99.
There have been occasions where Barstow has just squeaked through on a Friday night. It is actually Saturday morning now. Almost 20 past midnight here in the UK.
60.
But in previous times, he has blitzed through groups. This is not one of those times.
180.
Just when he needed a maximum, he found one. That's his third.
$97.
He'd fancy another with that light.
140.
It's a wicked bounce on the last one. Back comes Thomas.
180.
And he gets one, his second.
Tells you we've
In
got
fact, Barstow's got
82.
4. But it's all about double 16.
Game shot in
That
the
is
sixth leg.
extraordinary.
Just Barstow.
What a great exchange towards the end of that leg. 8 darts of brilliance from Barstow to survive the match,
Seventh
because
and
if he
final
misses
leg.
that,
Chaz to
he's going to
go
lose.
first.
180, 140, 82 out. Sensational darting from a sensational player.
45.
But it's the stuff in between. That's what makes Chaz Barstow watchable.
121.
When he's on, he is white hot. When he's off, he can have an average in the
100.
low 70s. He's slightly enigmatic, but we love an enigmatic player, don't we? I'm sure Barstow's thinking, will you please miss?
180.
But it's 180, number 7 of the match, that is sticking the knife in the back of
96.
Chaz right now, who is hanging on for dear life, a dart behind. He doesn't need a maximum shot on this dart, and he's
45.
not going to get one. Barstow will be very happy with that.
$60.
He hasn't found a
Marking
treble
you
with the
require
last dart.
155.
So Thomas has got 6 from 155. That leaves 74.
$95.
He went for the big 14 there. He wasn't fiddling with the treble. He wants to leave double top.
$60.
Can Barstow somehow
Martin,
get
you
out of jail
require
here? But I can't
60.
see it. Thomas has not been missing many doubles in this match.
Game.
And he doesn't
shot,
miss any
and the match.
in that
Martin
visit.
Thomas.
So Chaz Barstow is possibly up against it when it comes to his last match of the night. We will get to that point when it is relevant, because before that, it will be Jared Cole up against Ryan Furness. It is 4 points in the group for Martin Thomas. His best performance, arguably, in that game. It was a great game to watch from start to finish. 5 ton 40 pluses each and 7 180s shared between those two brilliant players. Barstow isn't finished, but Martin Thomas is. So let me thank you, Martin, for everything you've done this year. You've had a fantastic 2021. See you next year and have a fantastic Christmas and New Year. Brilliant player. Great to have him here at the Online Darts Live League. Great to have you two here with us as well, our fantastic audience. Stay with us. When we come back, it'll be game number 9. It is the penultimate game of the night, and it is the point of no return for Jared Cole. He must win this game against the already qualified Ryan Furness if he stands any chance of playing tomorrow night. If he doesn't, he goes back to Hertfordshire, and Chaz
First
Barstow
leg,
will be
it's
safe.
Ryan to throw first. Game on.
But if Jared Cole does win this match, and reverses the 4-0 defeat that he suffered yesterday
94.
at the hands of Ryan Furness. Then the last game of the night is going to be very interesting.
140.
He does have one problem, though.
60.
He's got to win by a certain margin here, does Jared Cole. If he wins by 4-3, he'll be out because of his leg difference situation.
140.
That 4-0 loss to Connor Scutt really has thrown him to the wolves.
140.
So this is where he's got to put his foot down and empty the tank. Any energy levels, any focus that he has
96.
left, it's got to be used right here. Any chances he gets, they've got to be found.
60. Jared, you require 125.
The start is good.
$65. Ryan, you require 147.
It's fast. It's pretty effective. And Cole will come back for 60.
91. Jared, you require 60.
Double top. Stays in that position for double
40.
10. Didn't go back to his
Ryan,
original
you require
position on the ocky.
56.
And Ryan Furness for the first leg.
Game
Takes
shot in the
double
first
top.
leg. Ryan
So
Furness.
Jared Cole is left scratching his head. He's losing too many legs where he's had chances to win them first.
Jared throwing first.
Not that he got any chances against Connor Scutt in the last match. He was dispatched in less than 7
57.
minutes, and he didn't get one dart at a double because of the brilliance of Connor Scutt. You could look at that match.
140.
You could look at the match with Furness yesterday where he lost 4-0 there. But ultimately, it is the collective effort throughout the group
140.
that has left him in this quandary. He was texting me this morning saying that he was really enjoying last night's play, even though he only got one win.
140.
Players like Jared really do enjoy pressure. The competition is fun,
180.
but it's better when you come through it. First maximum of the match comes from Jared to leave 124.
105. Jared, you require
But
124.
he can't shake Furness off. He can't create that massive gap. And Ryan could be 2-0 up in a matter of seconds.
92. Ryan, you require 116.
And if he finds this, Jared needs to win every leg from here. Oh!
76.
Under-delivered and very
Jared,
fortunate
you require 32.
not to bust the score. And
No
Jared
score.
gives him a shot at tops.
Ryan, you require 40.
The head starts to drop.
Game shot in the
And
second
Ryan
leg.
Furness has
Ryan
got 2
Furness.
legs in a flash. So, because of that stipulation where Jared Cole cannot win this game 4-3 and still go through, it's got to be 4 straight from here for JC.
Third leg, Ryan throwing first.
The reason for that is because of the leg difference and
80.
the fact that Chaz Barstow has got a superior head-to-head record against Jared Cole in this group because he's beaten him twice.
58.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Ryan Furness has changed his darts between his last match and this one.
119.
He's gone to a different set of the same darts. I should know
57.
they're a previous set of mine. So if I've got that wrong, I don't know my own darts from a few years ago.
81.
He was on the hunt for a spare set after the Champions Week in Phase 5. He managed to get a hold of a set.
95.
It's always really useful to have another set of the exact same ones you like, just in case something happens.
60.
But so far, so good. He hasn't played particularly well tonight, Ryan Furness.
58.
Apart from his first game where he beat Chaz by 4 legs to 2, he has fallen a little bit out of favour with form. Losing to Connor Scutt with a 77
49.
average, and losing to Martin Thomas 4-0 to gift him his first win in the group, averaging only 81. Well, this is much better. More than 95 in this match.
83. Ryan, you require 112.
I think the writing may be on the wall for Jared Cole. You can see the disappointment in his face. I don't know if he knows his full predicament. But if Ryan Furness hits this,
Ryan,
Jared Cole
52.
will no longer play in the Online Darts Live League this year. And it's in. He has eliminated Jared Cole, so Chaz Barstow is now safe. And we will play the remainder of this match to see if Jared can find 6 points for this group. And if he's going to do so, he's got to win 4 straight legs. Otherwise, it will be Ryan Furness who sews up second position in the table.
99.
And he gets to 10 points. And his job will be done for Saturday morning.
55.
What could be on the agenda for Jared for the rest of the year? Well, he does have a modern amateur darts world title to defend. Whether he's got to do that by the end of the year, I do not know.
100.
It might be back to the kitchen for him as the qualified chef that he is. He was saying to me a couple of days ago he'd much rather be on the hockey than in the kitchen. But to stay on the hockey, you must win.
Jared, you require 164.
And it's been a very tumultuous week for Jared. I really do feel for him. It's a cruel game sometimes.
92.
He was within one solitary dart. Just one shot of winning Group A. It clipped the wire of double 16. And by missing
66.
that shot,
Jared, you require 72.
he had to come to this really tough Group B. And he's been eliminated from it. But he has got his first leg of this contest. He's not going to be bageled for the second day in a row by the man from Salisbury.
Fifth leg, it's Ryan to throw first.
It's not to say that we're not looking forward to the final game of the night, because if we take the shackles off Connor Scutt and Chaz Barstow, we're talking about 2 of the fastest players we get here. And 2 of the best players as well.
139.
Could be a real humdinger.
$134.
This is some of the form that Ryan's going to need tomorrow night when he plays alongside Connor and Adam Smith-Neal, Scott Walters, Chris Gilliland.
58.
I still maintain that the favourite is Connor Scutt based on statistics, form and general confidence levels.
57.
But do not at any point count out Chaz Barstow.
60. 130.
Could be a bit of a crescendo here for Ryan Furness to finish off his Group B action. There's a degree of resignation about that visit. It could well be the last visit of Jared here this year.
30.
But then again,
Jared,
might
you
go out with a
require
flourish.
146.
I'd love to see him hit this. Double 16.
114.
That was the double that cost him
Ryan, you require 20.
on a Wednesday afternoon. One more dart. And it's
10
multiple
scored.
visits missed for the
Jared,
match
you require 32.
to keep the match going. He hates the lie. That one's even worse.
No score.
Flights, barrels and stems
Ryan,
in the
you
way.
require 10.
And I think he just wants his pain over with now.
Game.
As Ryan
shot,
Furness
and
does
the match.
win by
Ryan
4 legs to
Furness.
1. So he seals up second spot in the table. And it is goodbye for now for Jared Cole. The modern amateur darts world champion will not make Champions Week in Phase 6. But there's still the possibility of seeing Ryan Furness there. We will see him later on Saturday night. So Jared's gone. And you have to say it has to do with some of the lack of scoring at times in that match. But the checkered percentage at 10%, that's not going to get it done. But good luck to Jared for the rest of this year and for Q School in January. I hope he does really, really well. So all the best from everybody here at the Online Darts Live League. We're going to have one more match when we come back after the break, and it could well be the match of the night. It's Barstow against Scutt with the shackles off. welcome back to the last match of our Group B action. We have our finalists from Group B. Connor Scutt is going to be at the top regardless of this last match. Chaz Barstow will stay in third position, and Ryan Furness has solidified number 2 position. So they know who they're going to play in the finals, and I will get onto that at the point where we can start this game off. But start your watches, everybody, because we have a possibility of a very quick game here. If somebody gets out the traps, Chaz Barstow's quickest game of the year might be under threat. He holds the record of the quickest game of the entire season. 5 minutes 58 seconds when beating Kevin Burness.
Connor to throw first. Game on.
So off we go. And with everybody qualified for Saturday night,
100.
I'm sure you will be very much eager to hear who's in which group, because on Saturday night, live on Sporty Stuff TV from 10 p.m, we will split our finalists into 2 groups. It will be 2 group games per player, and if you're in the top 2 of each group, you will go through to the semi-finals.
86.
The third place players in each group will be eliminated and will walk away with £375.
140.
If you win your semi-final, you'll be guaranteed £1,000 and will have a chance to win the 2,000 against the other finalist.
100.
But if you don't win your semi-final and you go into the third place playoff, if you don't win that game, you're not going to Champions Week. In the next leg, I will tell you what those groups will be, and I assure you one of them looks decidedly juicy.
140. Chaz, you require 87.
20 ball.
62.
Chance for Scutt.
Connie requires 75.
Not much time to think in this game. Double 12.
Game shot in the
Not
first
much time
leg.
to think.
Connor Scutt.
And it could be a really good performance coming in from Scutt here, because everything he looks at, he finds.
Second leg.
He's in
Chaz
sensational
to
form. He's going to have to get used to seeing Chaz Barstow on the hockey with him, because they're in the same group tomorrow.
41.
But first, Group 1 for the finals tonight. Chris Gilliland, the winner of Group A, against Ryan Furness,
100.
second in Group B, and Scott Walters, second in Group C. That's Group 1. But Group 2,
78.
Connor Scutt, Adam Smith-Neal, and Chaz Barstow. Boy, does that look really, really interesting.
100.
There's reputation, there's form, there's pace in that group. All 3 players really quick.
57.
No matter what you're doing tomorrow night, do not miss the finals. It could be explosive stuff.
95.
Just talking about really quick games.
140.
A lot of them have involved players from this week. And indeed,
140.
in the top 10 of all of the quickest games we've had all year, 4 of them have been this week. What does that tell you?
92. Connie requires 66.
I'll give you some of those games in a second. But let's have a look at what Connor can do with 32 more.
Game shot in the second
Well,
leg.
That was a silly question, wasn't it? Because when you say, what can he do? He usually says, well, I can do what I like.
Third leg is Connor to throw
He finished
first.
yesterday's
Game
campaign in match number 10, averaging 107.36 and winning 4-0. He's doing something very similar
93.
here. But those 4 games that have been really quick and entered the top 10 of the quick charts,
180.
they are Scott Walters, against Adam Smith-Neil from today. That was a ridiculous
58.
game. 6 minutes and 31 seconds for that. That's the second quickest.
96.
And Adam Smith-Neil against Kurt Parry. That was 6 minutes and 37 seconds. Connor Scutt against Jared Cole from tonight.
100.
6 minutes and 57 seconds. And yesterday, when Connor beat Martin Thomas, 7 minutes flat.
65.
I've known dart players in North America who take 7 minutes to throw 3 darts.
140.
These guys don't hang around.
60.
Can Barstow have a 160?
100. Connor, you require 110.
I would not be shocked to see this go. Double 16.
Game shot in the third
Predictable.
leg. Connor Scutt.
He should be a weatherman, this guy, because what he sees, what he predicts, comes true.
Fourth leg.
If he
Chance
keeps
to throw
playing
first,
this
game
kind of
on.
darts tomorrow night and into the end of the year and into 2022, he is going to be turning a lot of heads.
100.
He's getting used to averaging over 100. It's becoming the norm.
139.
And the more he maintains this, and if he becomes a character within the
100.
game as well, there are going to be sponsors fighting for his signature. You know how snipers are supposed to be camouflaged and not
132.
seen? Well, this one is going to be seen everywhere. If he's taking out World Championship
100.
combatants like Chaz Barstow with the ease that he's showing here, it's quite frightening. He's a great age for a dart player
140.
to start shooting forward. 25 is a perfect age. It was where Chris Dobie started, really kicking into the game.
91. Connor,
And if he
you
finishes
require
this off,
90.
it'll be another average around 105.
54.
That's Barstow's
Charge you
opportunity at
require
110. Can he get the touche? He can't.
38.
And Connor
Connor,
Scutt
you
goes for
require
double
36.
18 to have the perfect group. And it is
Game
perfect.
shot and the match.
It's 16
Connor
points
Scutt.
from 16, and without a shadow of a doubt, Connor Scutt has responded after disappointment in Group A with a stunning Group B. He will be the favourite going into the finals a little bit later on today, and I can't wait to watch him again. It's 101.9. He's putting in these ton-plus averages like he's shelling peas. Brilliant stuff from him. And he really does deserve the title of Group B champion. 16 points from 16, 24 on his leg difference. He has been obliterating opponents. I don't know if that's a record, but we'll check that, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on. We will come back at 10 p.m. on Sporty Stuff TV on Saturday night. I hope you can join us then. It's been a real pleasure bringing you these 10 matches tonight. I'm going to have a little bit of a break now over the course of Saturday during the day and enjoy some other darting action. But I hope you have a wonderful Saturday, whatever you're doing. And when you come back to us on Saturday night, we'll bring you 10 more matches for the Week 2 finals in the Online Darts Live League. I've been Paul the Asset Nicholson tonight. Take care, everyone. See you on Saturday night.